Hey, you guys, I am so excited. Today I have the amazing Miss Vanessa Black. She is a school owner of specialty lash program in Texas, Odessa, Texas.
Yes.
And she is here today to talk about her journey of being a lash artist and being in the beauty profession and starting her own school. So I'm super excited to have another school owner here. Let's give a round of applause. Welcome, Vanessa.
Thank you, Amy.
You are so beautiful.
No, you are.
Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. I just love watching your stories. I love how far you've come, but I know there's a whole journey prior to you open the school. So tell
Most
us
definitely.
who you are and how you got started.
So this is actually really crazy. I get this question a lot. What inspired me to open up the academy? And honestly, it is crazy because this wasn't actually a part of my plan. This was God's plan. If you would have asked me 5 years ago if I would have a salon or a school, I would have laughed because I was comfortable where I was. I didn't like change. Fear and doubt were always there, insecurities. So if I would have met you then, Amy, I would literally be like, girl, that's not happening. My goals 5 years ago have completely shifted. I'm actually a hairstylist. I still work behind the chair. And so my passion for hair has always been big. And so my goals 5 years ago were just to become the best hairstylist. I would travel the world, take educational classes, and just focus on building my clientele. And my clients would actually ask me, Vanessa, when you open up your own salon, you need to get your own place. Girl, that's never happening. I don't want the extra stress added on. I have my husband, my kids that come first to me. So I never wanted that responsibility of a CEO because I think people have a misconception. We see social media and it can be deceiving. A lot of people that see me think like, oh my gosh, she has it so easy. And girl, it has been a long road, a long journey to open up my own school. So I say that is God's plan because everything completely shifted. And how it started was I got into lashing. I fell in love with lashing. And then I was able to start my own product line. Once I started my own product line, I had people asking me like, how you do lashes? And I would tell my husband, I don't even see myself like that. Like they want to learn from me. Like that's crazy. So it just started from me hosting my first masterclass and it was 6 students. And I remember the night before I told my husband, I'm going to refund them back. Like I can't do this class because girl, my biggest fear has always been public speaking. So even doing this podcast was a huge step for me, okay? And my husband was like, you cannot refund them back. It's literally tomorrow. Like, just go and do it. Give it your best. And if you don't like it, don't do it again. Well, it was the smallest step that I took that ended up being the biggest change in my life, girl, because just that one class, I was able to, keep having classes. Those classes, I ended up having students that were actually in school. They were going for the eyelash specialty program. And then I had a few that were in esthetician, but they only wanted to focus on lashes and brows. And so when I had this class, these students didn't know what even isolation was. They didn't know proper placement, girl. They didn't even know what EPA was. And I was like, girl, how did you graduate? I had one that graduated. I had two that were in the program about to graduate, and I had one that was in the middle of the program. And so then they freaked out like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do any of this. Maybe this isn't for me. I was like, no, like, you know what? I'm going to do a one-on-one with each of y'all. Don't get discouraged if one's ahead of the other. I'm going to solely focus on what it is that you need to to perfect. So girl, by the second day, girl, these students became pros within 2 days. Wow. I'm not even lying. They became pros. They were making handmade fans. I mean, they were creating beautiful sets. So after that, they actually encouraged me and they inspired me to open up a school. And they would tell me, Vanessa, you really should think about opening up a school. There's not that many schools around our area or any great ones around our area. You should really think about it. So at the time, I just had my baby. I was going through postpartum depression. I was running the salon, my storefront from our lash products. And I was like, that is way too much. Like, there's no way that I can add that to what I already have. And girl, when I tell you that God was speaking to me, he would not, like, I would go to bed. I'm like, no, like, there's no way. Like, that's too much. I started researching, getting into it. And I was like, yeah, there's no way I can do it. Until one day, girl, it was 2 a.m. at night. I remember getting up and I was like, why? Like, what is going on? Like, why can't I get this vision out of my head? Like, why is it that I need to get into opening up a school? I don't want to do this. Like, it's too much. Once you start looking into TDR and seeing all the requirements, girl, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
So that's where I came across you. And it is so crazy how God puts certain people in your life in certain seasons. And I feel like he sent me you. And so that's where I got where I am today. Sorry, I didn't mean to make that long, but
No.
it's crazy because I get that question a lot. And I'm like, I actually didn't want to be a school owner.
Yeah.
I ended up, this was God's plan, not mine.
Amen and glory. Well, I'm so glad you found me.
Yes.
I love how God works, and shout out to good husbands. So
Oh,
you have a very supportive husband.
girl.
Can you talk a little bit about how that helps your journey?
Yes. Oh my gosh. None of this would have been possible without him. He has been my huge support system. My husband has always been by my side. Ideas that I have, I always talk to him about it. And he'll either tell me, like, well, maybe you should try this, or like, you know what, go for it. I think you should do it. When I talked to him about the school, actually, we had our one-on-one call, and I called him. Actually, before that, I almost canceled our call because I was so nervous. And I told my husband, I can't do it. Like, I'm nervous to meet her. Like, I don't want to do the call. He's like, you have to do it. Like, if you you really want to open up your own school, you have to take that call. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. Girl, after our call, I called him and I was like, oh my goodness, this woman is incredible. And he's like, oh my gosh, how did it go? And I was like, she is, oh my goodness, I can't even explain in words how amazing Amy is and how much she inspired me. The guidance that she gave me, the encouragement, like the words of encouragement that you gave me, literally got me where I am today. I don't think if I would have found you, I think I would have given up, because at one point I did give up. I went to other people, did their mentorship program, spent thousands of dollars, girl, and it was just, they didn't care. They made me feel not worthy, not seen. And when I had that call with you, girl, you made me feel, at the time, obviously you didn't know me, but I was going through a really hard time in my personal life. Again, I just had a baby. I had postpartum depression. So just being able to have that call with you and you seeing me, like being seen and heard, just made me feel really good. So yeah, I had that talk with my husband and he was like, yeah, like you need to do it. Do whatever she says and we're going to get through this. And I was like, okay, like, are you ready? Because this is going to be a long road and there's a lot, like, we're going to have to talk. When you get home from work, we need to talk because this is going to be, it's going to be hard. There's going to be some changes we need to make, finances. So that's what we did. But yeah, my husband has always been supportive, even doing this podcast. Again, I told you that I told him, like, I don't know if I could do it. Like, I don't see myself doing that. Like, you know how socially awkward I get because I'm an introvert. And he's like, you have to do it. You can't ask God for something and block his blessing. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, do you remember that call the first time you had that call with Amy and you were just inspired? And I was like, guys, like, you prayed for God. You said, surround me with women like Amy. And he's giving you this opportunity and you're about to block that blessing. Let me message her right now and tell her I'll be there. So yeah, my husband has always been so supportive since day one.
Well, I love that. And wow, you just touched my heart. Thank you so much. It's always good to hear that you make an impact. So
Oh,
thank you for sharing that. And thank you for following what God told you to do, because now you are impacting women. You said that when we were off camera that seeing women graduate. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So I always tell my students, God gave you that dream for a reason. He implanted that vision in your heart for a reason. Like me, I did not expect to be a salon owner. God has a plan for everyone. And when I see these students walk into my school, we talk about our personal lives, what's going on. I have a lot of students that are single moms, students that have dedicated their entire life being a stay-at-home wife, stay-at-home mom. And once those kids grow up, it's like, okay, what's next? Like, what now? Like, I don't know what to do. So when they come in here, I love that I can create an environment of not just me empowering them, but the women that they're surrounded around. So I have created a community of not just coming, it's just another number of student, but a family. So I've gotten so blessed, girl. The students that have gotten have been incredible. And once they graduate, seeing their success, like all of them are booked. They're working in salons. Some of them are already in suites and they're staying booked. So their success is a reflection of myself. So when I see that, I know that my job was done.
Amen. Glory.
Yes.
By the way, the environment that she sets for her school is like no other. Y'all make sure to follow her on Instagram. It's Modern Black Academy,
Yes,
right?
Modern Black Academy.
Yes. So she be having scriptures in the morning time.
Yes, the
So
morning time. We start off with the scripture.
Yes. How did that come about? How did you say, okay, I want to infuse faith into my school?
So it's crazy. So April was my first class, and I've always been into like reading books. and I got into Mel Robbins, and I started reading her quotes, and they were very encouraging. So it started off with me putting Mel Robbins, her quotes on there. Well, a few months back, my husband and I, we've always been believers. We've always had faith in God, but recently, these past couple of months, we were like, we have to give more. Going to church on Sundays just isn't enough. Like, we have to devote more time to God. So every day we decided it doesn't matter how busy life is, we have to make sure and give time to Him, because one day out of the week, girl, is not enough. And I'm glad that we went through with this. I'm not going to say it's been an easy road. It hasn't. But I know that my faith and strong, my connection with God has gotten so stronger. And I want my students to feel that. So that's when I started doing that. So I'll look up scriptures, and my students may be going through at that time that we have spoke about, I'll put it up there. And let me tell you, girl, my students, when they see that, I mean, their whole demeanor changes. Like, oh my God, girl, I was having a bad morning this morning, or I was going through this, or I'm having marriage problems. And just seeing that, like, really just like it helped me. So it just became a thing. So every morning I make sure and have that up there.
Oh, I love that. I love
Thank
that.
you.
Y'all, she mentioned that she has been blessed with some amazing students and that she hasn't had any difficult ones just
Girl,
yet.
that's it.
Praise God.
Come on.
Glory. Glory. But I think that's because of the tone that you are setting and that
Yes.
you're spirit filled and the beauty and the joy that you radiate. I think that
Yes.
just kind of dispels any negativity that possibly.
Yes.
So I love that. I think I might even try to incorporate that
Yes,
into
try
my school.
it.
And yes, all you future school owners, put God first, right? Because the rest
Always.
will fall into
At the end of the
place.
day, girl, good or bad, He's the only one that's going to be by your side through the good
Yes.
or bad.
Yes. So how did your faith come to be? Like,
Oh
how
my
did you,
God.
have you always been a
Always been.
believer or
So,
like,
yes, I've always been a believer at a young age. I didn't have a normal childhood. I had it hard growing up. So, now that I'm older and I'm looking back, I'm starting to realize like God never left my side. Like when I didn't have my parents, when I didn't have family, when I was alone, my high school years, I lived house to house with different people. And honestly, girl, a lot of the things that I went through and seen, I probably shouldn't be here right now. But I thank God, and He got me where I am today. He didn't let me give up. Being able to see the way my parents were directed me to not be like them. And I love my parents. They are who they are, but it made me be who I am today. So I chose not to get into the drugs and all of that. It shifted my mindset because I knew I don't want to be like my mom. I don't want to be like my dad. I want to be better. I want to be able to give my kids, I want to a better life. I want to break our generational curse that we have. And now that my brothers and sisters can see me, I see them and they're like, thank you for doing that because we didn't have much growing up. And the little that we had, you made something so big out of it. So I look back now and I'm like, God, that was you all along. Like you never left my side. The times that I felt like, God, why me? God, why me? And I didn't understand then, I understand now. So my faith in Him has grown stronger. And I want to thank my husband for that also, because again, this was something that he got into. He's like, look, there's some crazy things going on in this world, and we have to do more because
mm,
going to church isn't going to be enough. It's not going to be enough to save us. We need to do more. And at the time, I was like, you're scaring me. Like, what is going on? And he's like, no, like, I'm serious. Like, there's some crazy things going on, and we need to get into the word. He's like, I'm the man of the family and I need to lead my family, and I need you to take this walk with me. And at the time, girl, I was kind of like, I don't really have time. He's like, no, you're gonna make time. And I was like,
yeah.
okay. And you know what, girl? There are some nights that I'm in my office and I'm trying to finish grading, trying to figure out my lesson plans. And he's like, hey, did you read the Bible today? And I was like, no, I'm not gonna have time. I'll do it in the morning. He's like, no, you need to do it before you go to bed. Girl, I shut my laptop, like, I'm going right now. And you know what, girl? Every time I read the Bible, it's like a weight off my shoulders. So anytime that I have a setback or I'm going through something, I always go. I leave my faith in God, trust in Him, and I get my Bible and I just read until I'm finding like, what are you trying to tell me, God? And I find it and I'm like, there it is.
Mm.
That's what I needed to hear.
Thank you so much for sharing that, your story. I love how even though you grew up with not the easiest childhood,
Mm.
you didn't allow that to keep you or have an excuse to be like, I'm not gonna go for better, and you let God use you. So that's
Yes.
truly amazing.
And I tell my students, how bad do you want it?
Mm,
Because you can't come in here and think that it's going to be easy. A lot of people have a misconception that the beauty industry is not a real career. I grew up, when I told my parents, or especially my dad, he's like, you need to go to school, you need to go to college. And I was like, no, like, this is what I want to do. This is my passion.
yeah.
And now I'm like, look at me. And you said this wasn't a real job. You said this wasn't a career. This was a hobby.
Yeah.
No. And so I make sure my students know, like, when you're coming in here, girl, I need 100%. And you know what? You're not going to wake up at 100% every day. If you wake up with 40%, give me your 40% because at the end of the day, you gave me all you had. And that's
Mm.
all I ask for from my students.
Wow.
So I make
Glory.
sure and set the bar high for
Yes,
them.
yes. And obviously they're raising
Yes.
their own spirit, their own
Yes.
levels. That's truly amazing. Now you mentioned, being in the office late, grading,
Oh,
teaching,
yes.
putting, light into people. It sounds like you're a one-woman show.
Girl, yes. So I recently barely opened in April and I don't have a team. It's just me, girl. It's me doing everything. And it has been hard, but it also has been the most rewarding. I can't even explain how rewarding it is to just see my students grow from day one, from when they graduate. Just to see them blossom is something so rewarding for me. And it just makes me so happy. So at the time, I don't have a team, but eventually I do want to be able to build a team. That's part of my plan. But right now, I haven't. And it has been hard, but I want to make sure and create the foundation. So when I get my team, they already have it right there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it is hard hiring somebody that's going to be like you. Like, I need a duplicate of myself. I
Yeah.
need another one of me because it's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard to hire right now that people that actually want to work and that you can trust. I'm like, this is my life that I'm handing over to you. So, yeah, right now I'm not hiring, but hopefully in the future I will start.
Have you seen any students come through that you thought about maybe they would be a good instructor or maybe?
Yes, I have, but I haven't asked them yet because I want them to focus
Yeah.
and see what, they barely just graduated.
Yeah.
I haven't even been open a year yet. So, but there are some that I'm like, you would actually be a great educator and your work speaks for itself. I see people that are already like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? I want to learn from you.
Yeah.
So, yes, I do have a few students that I have in mind that I would love to have um, instruct at my school.
Awesome, awesome. So with you still being, your own team, how do you manage being a wife, a mom, a school owner, a product line? And do you still you said you're behind the chair still doing
Yes, I
hair
still
some
work
for
behind the
clients?
chair. I still have
Girl,
my
how are you
clients.
managing
I can't
that?
let my clients go. They're like, please don't forget about us. But I'm not because they're the reason why I got here too. If I wouldn't have my clients, I wouldn't have my salon, I wouldn't have my product line, and I wouldn't have my school because I didn't get any loans out, girl. So I
Mm.
saved up and my clients supported my business. They supported my ideas. So I thank them and I just cannot ever think about ever letting them go. They have become family to me. But as far as managing everything, girl, that's a hard one because people ask me, how do you balance? And I'm like, I don't. I really don't. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. There's no such thing as balance.
Mhm.
And I try my best to time manage everything.
Yeah.
So honestly, that month I have my calendar. I know what I'm gonna do each day. And I know some people are like, that's so boring. Like you have a routine, but that's how I get my days to run smoothly is by routine. So I would say time management. Is what I do the best.
Good,
Yeah.
good, good. So how do you keep your cup full? Or are you keeping your cup full?
I'll be completely honest. I feel like I take care of everyone else before I take care of myself. And that's not good because you need to take care of yourself first so you're able to take care of everyone else. And I feel like the past couple of years, I was feeling burnt out, drained out, depressed. I was going through a hard time. And I learned that I wasn't taking care of my health. And like I said, I grew closer with God. I started taking care of my health. I started going to the gym again. And I started feeling more like myself. So yeah, I would say take care of yourself first so that you are able to take care of the people around you.
I love that. One of the things I always tell my new mentees is, what are your daily habits? I love how you mentioned that you structure your day. Number one, you have to have time management
Yes.
skills, but you do have to put yourself first
Yes.
because, like you said, you can't pour into your students or your
Mm-hmm.
marriage or your children if you are operating from empty. And so I always ask, are you working out in the morning? Some of my mentees are not morning people. And I'm like, you got to
Girl,
be a
you
morning person if you want to open a
yes.
school because at
Oh
8 o'clock,
yes.
all stuff breaks loose.
Yes, girl, yes. So the first thing that I do in the morning again is talk to God. I have talked to him like we're talking, I just
Mhm.
talk to him like, God, I want to thank you for another day, Lord. And I ask that you protect me, my kids. I ask that you lay your hands on the people that need you right now, my students. Just have a conversation with him. If I have time, my mornings are crazy, girl, because I'm going to 3 different schools, so I'll have to drop off 3 different kids at 3 different schools and then get to my school by 8:45 in the morning. So it's crazy,
Wow.
but like I said, time management, that's how I get my days running smoothly. But honestly, that's what I do in the morning, and then after I pick up my kids from school, I go home, I cook dinner, get everything ready for whatever we have, soccer, boxing, football, whatever it is, I make sure everything's ready. My husband picks up 1 kid, I take 1 kid, and that's kind of what has worked for us. Once we're done, I get home, I make sure everybody's fed, bathed, in bed, and then I go to the gym. But I make sure and at least work out for at least 30 minutes to an hour.
Wow, you're
Yes.
amazing,
But girl,
girl.
trust me, I am tired by the end of the day.
Yes.
Actually, I started going to hot work, so you're in the sauna, and it has helped me sleep so good.
Good.
So I've tried to go at least 3 times out of the week because I feel like it eases me, my stress. So once I go to bed, girl, I'm out.
I love how you said that it helps you sleep. How has your sleep been before?
Horrible.
Why?
In the beginning stages of opening the school, girl, fast forward, when I was doing a lot of research on what I needed to open up the school, there's not a lot of information out there. And, I did talk to some people again. I did some mentorships and they weren't really helping me. They almost made me feel like, okay, so you don't know anything. And I was just like, okay, yeah, like I said, like I just started getting into this. I'm not even sure what TR requires. Can you help me out? Well, I don't know if I'll even be able to help you out. Email this person and then we'll go from there. And even then, girl, I was so eager that I was like, okay, I'll email them. I emailed them. Even the responses were rude. And I was like, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. Like, it's hard. I called TDLR.
Oh, they're the
Girl, let me just warn y'all, you're going to need a lot of patience. And I'm one of the most impatient person you'll ever meet. I've had to learn to have patience, girl. And I would call TDLR. Basically, the questions I had, girl, they were reading whatever's online. I was like, I already seen that online, girl. Well, no, it took a while, though. It took a while.
Yeah.
And I finally did the call me back. And finally, they called me back, I think, like a day later. And I had forgotten I called them. And I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot I called. I had these questions. And she's like, okay, let me see what I can find. And the answer she gave me, I was like, well, yeah, I read that online, but I need more information, like more details to that. Well, I don't know. That's all I can give you. And I was like, what? Like, there's just no help for school owners out there. So I finally was like, you know what? Maybe it's just not meant to be. I'm not going to do this. Again, girl, at 2 a.m, I had this voice in my head. And I was like, what is going on? Like, why can't I get this vision out of my head? Like, I don't want to do it anymore. Let me focus on the salon. Let me focus on my product line. Maybe start doing more marketing, get more sales. I'm going to focus on that. Girl, like I said, God had other plans for me. There I go at 2 a.m. There has to be more information on here. Like, what is it? Girl, guess who pops up? Amy Ledgister, her YouTube video. And I was like, hold on, you were doing an interview and they were asking you questions. And I was like, okay, let me see what this girl's about. And I started watching the video and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so inspiring. Like, wow, like that is so amazing. So then I got a stalker and I was like, I need to know who Amy Ledgister is. Let me look her up. So I looked you up and I was able to find your page. And then I was like, oh my gosh, she does mentorship. And then I bought one of your courses about how to open up your own school, right? So I did that, and girl, just that, what was it? Like a video webinar? Yes, just that webinar helped me tremendously. Like it probably answered like half of the questions that I had. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to do her mentorship. Like if this video helped me out this much, like I need to do her mentorship. And then that's when I booked it. And it was life-changing. It was a life-changing experience. And I will never forget that day, girl, because I wouldn't be here today if I wouldn't have taken that call with you. Because like I said, there's no resources out there. It is ridiculous. There's not resources. And I recently saw, I was telling my husband, I was scrolling through Instagram and I was like, I know this girl is not about to drop an ebook after I already opened up my school. He's like, what? And I'm like, look, he's like, that is so awesome. I was like, I'm still buying it because I know I still have some. So I'm so excited for that ebook, girl, and I'm waiting for the drop.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Because there's a lot of negativity on TikTok talking about, the schools, like pretty much their horror stories. And I was like, let me see. I started looking. I'm like, this is crazy. I mean, there's some where their teachers are fighting with the students. They're cussing them out. And I'm like, wow, like that is crazy.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa. The students cussing out the teachers. They don't have respect for the teachers. And yeah, I started scrolling. It was just a lot that I was seeing on, and I'm like, I can understand why people are afraid to go to cosmetology
Yeah.
school
Mhm.
because of what people are posting and what the students are saying about these certain schools. So my legacy would be my student success. So you know
Yeah.
that just like
No,
go.
that's your legacy is seeing
Yes.
them succeed and
Yes.
creating a school where it's not a toxic
Yes, create an
environment.
environment that
Yeah.
is, yeah.
I love that. I love that. Okay, well, let's get into some fun
Ooh,
stuff. Okay, we've talked
nervous.
about all the bossy stuff. Y'all, she is doing her thing in Odessa, Texas. I've never been to Odessa,
Girl,
Texas.
nobody
So.
knows. You know, when I go to these classes, I have to lie and say I'm from Dallas,
Oh,
Texas, because girl, every time I say Odessa, they're like, "Where's that?" I'm like, "Do you know where Dallas is?" Yeah, okay, girl, somewhere around there. It's all 5 hours away.
oh, right. Yes. Okay. So these are some quick fire questions. This
Ooh,
or that.
okay.
Coffee or tea while running the school.
T.
Early morning or late night hustle.
Late night hustle.
Heels or sneakers on campus.
Ooh, sneakers, girl. Do you see these little heels I have right here? These little kitten heels. My husband's like, you might as well wear sandals. Sneakers for sure.
Classroom teaching or behind the scenes CEO work. She did a really great way. She started with just herself. And so you're able to control, like you said,
Yes.
you interview your students. You can kind of tell
Yes.
if they're not serious.
If they're going to be a good fit or not.
Right.
Yes.
And so, and it's one-on-one with you. So that's beautiful how your school is. My school is a little bit different because it is more, we allow.
But how many years have you been in it?
Year 10.
Exactly.
Year 10. But I will say that most of my stress came from hiring staff. As you mentioned, no one's going to care about your business like you do. So that's part of my course is I teach you how to hire staff, how to have, what to look out for, because sometimes people can become jealous or envious. And so
they want what you have.
They want what you, and they don't see you at the end of the night, 2:00 in the morning, worrying about.
They don't see you putting in that time. I think they just see, again, social media can be deceiving because some of them see my post and they think, and I'm like, oh, girl, if you only knew what I went through, like, oh, yeah, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, they don't see the behind the scenes and all the work that you have to put into opening up a school. Honestly, I told my salon girls, I would rather open up 10 more salons than to open another school because, girl, just the timing of opening up a school from putting in your application to getting approved. And let's hope you get approved, because if not, you're paying rent because you already have to have the building or the suite where you're going to have your school in. When I was doing my application, that's why it took me a while. I was like, oh, wait, I already have to have the building and the suite. They want the contract. They want the paperwork stating that you have that building, that suite. So if it doesn't work out, you're left paying that rent. And when I tell you that I pray to God, I was like, God, this has to work. I don't have a plan B. If this doesn't work, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to turn that suite into. Yeah. I did a 5-year contract, girl. So when I tell you I was taking a big risk, I was taking a big risk. Yes. But look at God. Yes. Look at God working. Yes. But a lot of people don't know that. And like you said, TDLR is not the most helpful. They kind of like say, open up a school and you're on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even when I passed my inspection, I was like, okay, so what now? Can you send me the contracts that I need for my students? Like, where do I go from here?
Yes. They're very quick to leave you on your own, but will penalize you.
Oh, for anything.
Anything that's not correct. Yes. Like, y'all didn't teach me this. There should be literally like a seminar or something.
Even give me a handbook. I'll read through it, girl. Like, I don't care. Give me a 200-page handbook.
I can talk to. Yes. Oh, and yeah. So we could go on and on about school owner, but it's so nice to meet another school owner. Because it's such a small niche, I feel like, of people, and some people are not as open. Like you met
they don't want to
people.
share. They gatekeep. You know, it's crazy that you say that, girl. I tell my students, everything that I know, every dollar that I have invested into my education, you're getting from me. I don't gatekeep anything. I teach my students everything that I know because I want them to be better than me. And that's why when they graduate, they're able to start their business immediately. So when I see that, like I said, it brings me so much joy that I was able to help these women out. But yeah, you'd be surprised how many people don't want to help out at all, girl. And that's where I'm saying that any question that I had, even after our call, I think I booked another call with you. And even then, girl, I had my notebook. I had so many questions. I'm like, Amy's going to be tired of me. She's going to have me on block. No. But you answered every single question, every single question that I had. And it's crazy because I feel like it made the process go so smoothly. Thank you. I'm not going to say that it was easy, but I will say that it ran so smoothly because of your help and your
That's
guidance,
okay.
for sure.
Thank you. As you mentioned, I've been gate kept before, and so my goal is to never do this. Like, you pour
You know
into
what
your
it feels
students.
like. Yes.
Yes, it's just like, just
It's
answer my
horrible.
question. Like, I
Yes.
don't want to take up too much of your
Mm-hmm.
time. I just need this little bit of help. Like, people, y'all share the knowledge. There's
Share.
enough food on the table for
For
everybody.
everyone. And let me tell
Everyone. All right. So at your school, you teach the specialty lash program, but I also see aesthetics.
you.
Can you
Yes.
talk about that and
Oh my
teaching?
God. It's so crazy, girl. I've never done a facial in my life. And girl, seriously. But I was so honest with my students. I'm like, look, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm a cosmetologist. I do hair. I do everything but facials, but
Mhm.
skin. I don't know anything about skin. But girl, I was determined
Mhm.
to learn about it. So I flew out to Dallas. I started taking some classes that I could take back to my students.
Yeah.
And I have fell in love with aesthetics and learning about the skin. So I told them, like, I'm going to be learning with you, but if there's ever a question that I cannot answer for you, I will make sure and get that answered for you. Like, I'll make sure and ask around, ask people. I feel like I've built relationships with people.
Mhm.
I don't get into all the drama and the hate. You know how the industry can be. I don't
Oh,
get
yeah.
into that. So I make sure and build connections with people. And it's so crazy because it has come into hand. I'm able to have these people come in and teach facials for my students because I have built these connections with them. But also, I am going to say that when you're doing your application, and I'm glad that I took your advice, whenever I was doing my application, I didn't realize that if you want to do aesthetics, cosmetology, barber, eyelash specialty, you have to have a separate application for each program. And let me tell you, girl, it's going to take the same amount of time. So to save you that, if you are wanting to do aesthetics, eyelash, nails, whatever it is, go ahead and submit it all in your application because I wouldn't have been able to offer it.
Right.
So I'm glad that I took that advice from you and I went ahead and did it.
Yes.
And I was able to offer it.
Right.
So
Immediately. You didn't have to wait.
immediately, I didn't have to wait because it's a whole nother process again.
Yes.
So yes.
Whole nother process. Please. Yes. When you
Yes.
submit that application, we talk about it in my course, in my
Yes.
ebook. Go ahead and apply for every program because the requirements are not that much.
No.
Right. As
And
far as
honestly, some
equipment.
of the stuff that you need for aesthetics, you already
Yes.
need for cosmetology. So
Right.
just to be 10 steps ahead of other people, go ahead and submit that application.
Yes. Yes. At least in Texas. Each state is a little bit different, but in Texas, get it.
Yes.
Because sometimes TDLR will lose your application. They've lost.
I remember you
my
telling me about
applications.
that. And I was so nervous, girl, because it took a while for me to hear back from them. I was like, oh no. Did they lose my application? Did they even get it? Because I couldn't figure out how to do it online. So I had to submit it through mail.
Yeah, but you kept your receipt.
And yes, I kept my receipt. But I was
But
like,
even
yeah,
then, they still lose
you won't
it.
be able to sleep until you get an answer back from them.
Yes, because your money is
your
going.
money. Yes, because how much is the application? Like,
Well, it's 500, but if
500
your space.
and your
You're paying
space
for
too.
rent,
Yes.
your students are waiting to register in your
Yes.
class, and you're like waiting. Oh man, so yeah,
It's a
do
lot.
your applications for everything all at once. Save yourself that trouble, even if you don't offer it now. So, will you be adding hair to your school, or is that something that?
Yes, so that's actually part of my plan.
Okay.
Later on in the future, where I'm at right now, I can't really expand.
Okay.
So I do want to be able to expand and add cosmetology because I have people calling me like, hey, like, do you have cosmetology? Like, I want to learn how to do hair extensions like you do. I want to learn how to do color. And I'm like, I was telling my husband, that's sad that I'm a hairstylist and I don't even offer that program. But the suite that I'm in right now is not big enough for me to offer those. So eventually I would like to expand and add cosmetology to one of our programs for sure.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that's amazing that you have that experience and that background, and they're going to flourish.
Oh,
So,
yes.
yes. That's one thing too. I always talk to my school mentees is kind of think about the expansion because it happens so quick,
It
right?
does. And I didn't expect it to be like this, girl. Honestly, I did not expect. I know when I spoke with you, like, girl, you might not have students your first year. And I had to learn to like soak that in, like, okay, like I might not have anybody. I'll be happy if I have one student in my program. So to be able to have 6 students in my first lash program was a huge accomplishment for me. I did not expect that because honestly, it's how you market yourself. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, that's a whole nother job that people don't talk about. You
Yes.
have to learn how to market yourself. And I didn't have any students. So I'm like, how am I supposed to put myself out there and let people know that Modern Black Academy is here?
Mhm.
And so at first it was kind of word of mouth, but definitely you have to learn how to market yourself and get yourself out there. And
Yes.
I was just blessed, girl, blessed that I was even able to get 6 people to come to my
Amen.
school and trust me because
Yes.
I didn't have anything to show them, to showcase like, hey, you're gonna learn this. I don't
Right.
have anything. So I got so blessed that I was able to have these students that trusted me
Yes.
and they came here. So then once I had that first class, that's when I was able to market, create more content. So
Yes.
now I'm getting myself more out there.
Yes. What would you tell someone who's maybe teaching certification classes, the difference between teaching certification classes versus actually teaching a TDLR license program?
Yes. So a lot of people, students get this confused, the certification and licensing. And I tell them like it's two completely different things. A certification I would recommend for someone after they get their license. So come to school, get your license, and then after that, take continuing education because I promise this industry is always changing and you always want to stay evolving. So stay on top of the new trends and techniques that are out there. And that's where you go and take these certification courses that I think are amazing. But yeah, it's two completely different things because when you're teaching at a school, you have to teach a curriculum.
Mhm.
And girl, it's been hard because not only am I trying to teach state board how to prepare them to pass their state boards, I'm also trying to teach them the real world, like social media content, business, how to set up your LLC, and how to create these sets. And most schools don't do that. So when these students are coming to me, I have students that are coming from other schools and they're complaining about we didn't learn anything. And at the same time, I understand. Now that I'm teaching, I completely understand. It
Right.
is hard.
Yeah.
And I only have 6 students. I can imagine 20, 50 students. It is hard. There is no way that you can teach students everything that they need to pass their exams and more, how to
Right.
set up their business and all of that. So it is completely different. You do have a curriculum that you have to stick to. When you do your certification classes, you're teaching what you want to teach. You're teaching what you
Yeah.
specialize
Yeah.
in, and it's different in school. You have to go based off the curriculum. You're talking about infection and what are the chapters like infection and
Control.
control,
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
laws,
Yeah.
the
Disease and
anatomy,
disorders.
diseases and
Yes.
disorders. There's just a lot that goes into it. And again, you have to create a lesson plan and when you're teaching classes, you don't have to do all of that,
Yeah.
It's a 2-3 day class.
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot more that goes into these licensing programs for sure. So I do recommend all my students to get licensed and then after that, invest into your education. That way you're able to grow because if you don't, you're gonna be stuck where you're at.
Yes. Yes. So when you're not boss babe, what do you do for fun?
Oh my gosh, my kids take up all my time. But you know what,
Mhm.
Amy? I enjoy watching my kids play the sport that they love. I love it so much. And I know that I don't really have time to myself, especially right now, but I truly enjoy watching my kids play the sports. I love watching them. And they've honestly have motivated me a lot because my 8-year-old daughter, she plays soccer and just girl, she trains 4 to 5 times out of the week. And the other 2 days are games. Saturdays and Sundays are games. And just to see I mean, she'll be tired and my husband will walk in her room like, "Hey, do you want to train today?" And she's tired and she's like, "Yes, yes, like I'm getting ready." And I'm like, I don't have any excuses. And my 8-year-old daughter is out
Mhm.
there training even when she's tired and she don't have any excuses. Like shouldn't have any excuse. So that's where my joy comes from is my kids. My kids motivate me so much. I have 4 kids. They keep me busy. They're all in sports. So they're what keep me they're goodness cracking it's hot. They are what keeps me going. So honestly, that's what I do on my downtime is just dedicate my time to my kids right now. I don't really think I have any hobbies or anything besides just working out.
Yeah.
And now that I'm talking to you, I'm like, damn, I'm pretty boring. Like, wow.
Girl, I'm the same. You're disciplined. You're
Yes,
disciplined, and
discipline.
there's different seasons of life. I think because
There is right now, I just have so
you're in the
much going on.
trenches. You
Yes.
really are in the
Yes.
trenches. So yeah, your priorities are different when you're a
Yes.
mom, wife,
Oh
and a
yeah.
CEO.
It's
So
hard.
talk about your product line because I know a lot of aspiring lash artists would love to have their own brand. How did that come to be?
Oh my gosh. It's so crazy because I've been doing hair for over 10 years and I started lashing 5 years ago Well, once I started lashing, I fell in love with it. I loved lashing. So I was using different brands. I was working probably with like 6 different brands. I love tweezers from this brand, the lashes from this brand, adhesive from this brand. Well, the lash trays that I was using, I would buy like $800 worth because they would sell out all the time.
Wow.
So I would spend like $900 just on lash trays alone.
Mhm.
And when I would run out, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go and stock up. They would be sold out. And I was like, oh, I can't even work. I don't have any more lash trays. What am I supposed to do? So I would have to send my clients to other lash
Oh,
artists, girl, because
no,
that's the only
girl.
brand that I would work with.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, like this cannot keep happening. I would
Yes.
email them like, girl, when are you going to restock? And she'd be like, probably another 2-3 weeks. I cannot wait another 2-3 weeks. So, you know what's crazy, Amy? That I was scrolling through Instagram and I came across this girl and she was talking about starting your own product line. I was like, what is this about? And there I go again doing my research. So I get into it. I'm diving deep into it. I'm like, oh my God, like, should I give this a try? Girl, I thought it was going to be easy. I thought, oh, well, I'll just get these vendors, put your name on it. No, girl, it was a long process too. It took me about a year. I wouldn't say that the process was long. I would say testing the products out. If you really want good quality work, again, it's my name on this product. And the people that know me know that I only offer high quality products. And so when I started testing out these products, I would be in my kitchen testing the products out. And it took me forever to find good products, like down to the tweezers, the adhesive, the lash trays, making sure that the quality stayed the same. So, girl, it took me a while, but once I found the one, it just blossomed from there. So I started that up. I started selling it. The area that I'm in, I was the first person, so nobody sold lash products there. So then I had all the local people coming and the salon that I was at, and it became too busy for the reception. So that's kind of where it came, where I went and got my own salon, started my storefront. So yeah, now we have people that come in and shop our products. My students are able to go and shop our products. They get a discount on it. So I just felt like I said, it was God's plan. And now that I'm understanding, everything is just making sense now. So that's where my product line came.
Awesome.
Yes.
Do you ever, I mean, I know we're so busy, but do you ever just toot your own horn or pat yourself on the back?
Sometimes,
Do you ever
you
think,
know,
like,
girl,
wow,
I'm
look what I've
so
done?
hard on myself.
Yeah.
I am so hard. Like, I never give myself enough credit. And my husband has to get on to me like, woman, like, you're doing this, you're doing this. Like, a lot of people can't even do half of what you're doing. And I have to give myself grace.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what, girl, you're doing good. Like, you know, sometimes you have those setbacks and you're like, why did I even get into this? Like, why did I even think I could do this? And that's kind of when you have to step back, slow down a little bit, and just kind of process everything. But yeah, now I have learned to give myself some grace and be like, okay, girl, you're doing the best you can. Keep going. As long as you're showing up every single day, that's a start.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you. Every time I
Thank
see
you,
you, I'm like, I'm so
Amy.
proud of you. Go,
Thank
girl.
you.
And I love how your students show your support too. I saw a card that you posted. Like, you got her
Yes.
through. You dealt with her stuff. And, like, you got
Yes,
her
girl.
through
I've actually
graduation.
had students from other schools that have came to me to
Aw.
help. I help them pass their state board exams. You would be surprised, the students that I've had didn't get books. They didn't even get books. They didn't even know how to take the practical. They weren't given the kit. They didn't even know what needed to be in the kit. So I was able to help these students pass their state boards and get their license.
Wow.
So now that I'm seeing them and what they're doing, I'm like, that is so amazing. They weren't even my student, but I was able to help them out. And that's where I get the most joy from, is helping other women out.
Yes. So what's something that you would have told yourself a year ago before starting this journey of school ownership?
It's on, like, don't show emotions, don't, you know. And that's kind of where you helped me out so much. And the way that you made me feel is how I want my students to feel. I want them to feel valued. I want them to feel recognized, acknowledged. I want my students to feel the same way that you made me feel, because I was going through a hard time, girl, a really hard time in my life. I mean, I was in the dark.
Really?
And like I said, when I got on that call with you, it was like, okay, let's pretend, like, let's be, you know. But honestly, like, you helped me heal so much, and you didn't even know it. So just don't ever change who you are. Stay you, Amy.
Thank
And
you.
because I promise you, girl, that little made a huge impact in my life.
Oh,
And so now I carry that with me for my students, you know. And I talk about you to my students. They know who you are, girl. I tell them, like, let me tell you, girl, like, If you're not following 3D Lash and Brow, Amy Ledgister, I don't know what you're doing, because she is so empowering. And I feel like we all need to surround ourselves with people like you. And so I hope to be a quarter of what you are. So I bring that to my students and I tell them, this woman made me feel seen. She made me feel heard. And I had so many questions. She did not make me feel dumb at all. Like, you answered everything. The words of encouragement. You could have easily been like, girl, you might as well, if you don't have it in it, then just don't do it. Like, this is going to be hard. This isn't for everyone, but you didn't. And even though I had so many questions and I was so clueless into getting into this, like, you helped me out. So yeah, you honestly helped me out a lot. I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have that call with you. I don't even think I would have the school, because again, there's not any resources out there. So yeah, girl, I don't really know what I would tell myself a year from now, because I was in a really dark place. But I would just say that it's going to be okay. And the light is coming, and it is. Like, now that I'm here, I'm like, thank you, God. Like, I understand now, and thank you for allowing me to be patient.
Yeah.
Because now I get to help these other women.
Yeah. I think too, people don't realize when you own a school, your students, they're going through their own trials and
Mhm.
and they bring that into the
They do.
school.
And you know what, Amy? During my orientation, that is actually something that I talk about. And I tell my students, when you walk through that door, anything that you're going through in life, your challenges, you leave it outside. When you come in here, I want you to focus on you. I want you to focus on learning and growing. And I want to build a community. So we're basically almost like a family. And it's so crazy to see that my students have become really close. Like, they, even after they graduated, I found out that they have a group chat without me. And I was like, hold on, y'all have a group chat without me? Wow. But they have, I mean, it's just amazing what can happen when you're surrounded around the right people. So yeah, I make sure, that's one thing I tell them. I don't deal with the drama. I don't deal with the gossip. You don't bring that here, okay? Like, if that's what you're doing, then you need to go somewhere else. But yeah, that's something that I do talk about. When you walk through that door, you leave all your problems outside of there.
Okay, so she don't play, y'all.
I don't play.
She's got
Yes.
spirit, God, but
You know
she's
what?
not
Because I
about
want
to
the best for my students. So, and once they start seeing that, they start to understand. Like, I understand why you were so hard on us.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
I won't for that.
If you could go back and start again, would you do anything different?
Girl, that one is hard. I was telling my husband, because I'm like, I know most people, if they didn't have the resource, I feel like they would have more setbacks. But I do feel like you pretty much laid it out for me. So I feel like everything ran so smoothly. And I don't know if I should keep repeating that.
No, that's perfect. It's
because, like, honestly, girl, like, goodness, it made everything. I knew what to expect. I knew the timing. You told me, like, look, TDR is going to take a long time for you to get to hear back from them to get approved. Once you do that, this is how you literally told me step by step, your inspection, this is what you need. Because, girl, I was, that's another one that I was going to go and buy all this equipment, all this expenses. And it's like, yeah, don't worry about spending so much money on all this equipment and like materials. Just get what you need to pass your inspection. I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
Because I remember even asking, like, do I need to have a mirror for each station? Because, girl, I was about to buy like 20 mirrors. So, you know what I mean? Like, someone that wouldn't have known that would have done that. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah. Which is okay, because if if you got
later on down the road, you go, yeah.
You got fun, but you don't
girl,
need to.
yeah. Seriously, you answer so much stuff. So when I was in the process of, I'm like, oh, Amy told me. Oh, yeah, Amy. Or I would go back to my notebook. I'm like, I know I asked him. Okay, yeah, this is what she said. Even as far as like the systems to use, I would even say don't invest, because I was about to do the smart system, girl. Obviously, I'm so new. And yeah, when I talk to you, I'm like, yeah, why would I need it? It's so expensive, girl. Like, right now, I don't have the funding for that. I don't have students. So you told me My Lady. I didn't know that I could go in there, put my own. Do you use My Lady still or no? I didn't know that I could go in there, put my own like test. Yeah, because I make them tests. Yeah, because I'm like, well, how can I add my own grades on here, like participation or like attendance or projects that they do in class? And when you told me that, I'm like, girl, I was about to go and spend all this money on just a grading system, Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of the stuff, I feel like you answered, so everything was good.
Good. That makes
But I feel like someone else that wouldn't have, like, they're gonna have so much more setbacks.
Yeah. What advice would you give somebody who is an aspiring school owner who's maybe seeing you on your Instagram and wants to do something like that for their community?
I would say be fully committed. Be fully committed. Can I cuss on here?
Yes, please.
Don't half-ass anything, girl. You
Yes.
have to be fully committed. You have to be fully committed. You need to be disciplined because, girl, motivation isn't always going to be there. You're not going to wake up every day feeling motivated. Discipline is what's going to get you there. And I would say to be consistent. Again, that kind of comes in with routine, daily habits. Once you start building that consistency, you start to get your momentum going, and discipline plays out. So I would say those three things is being fully committed, disciplined, and being consistent.
Yes. What's something that you didn't anticipate when you first opened your school? Or
Like
you
what?
didn't? Just kidding. Let's
Like what?
wait a minute. Okay. The legacy. That's the legacy. Oh my gosh.
They will be like, why's that girl in there just laughing the whole time? I can't. Hold on, the legacy.
Okay. So you built.
Oh my god.
So you.
Okay, let me get it together. Yes, no, seriously, no, just water. Okay.
So you've built a community for your students. You've inspired them. What legacy do you want to leave for your modern Black Academy?
I would say a year ago, girl, I was going through a hard time a year ago. I had postpartum depression. Again, I've always been really hard on myself, insecurities. I don't really know. I would honestly just say to trust him, trust in God, and leave it in his hands. At the moment, we don't understand what we're going through. That's a hard one, girl. Because I was going through a hard time. And even when I had that call with you, it was almost like, okay, everyone is going to attract different people.
Yes.
You know, I tell my students also, because everybody's doing lashes now. I'm like, it's okay. What's going to set you apart from everybody else?
Literally.
And that's what I make them gosh, I went blank. I make them specialize in a specific, whether do you want to be known as Wispy says, because you want somebody to be scrolling and be like, oh, that's Amy.
Yeah.
That's Amy without even looking at your name or your page.
Yeah.
So I tell them like, what's going to set you apart? Because I promise you, my clients are my clients and your clients are your clients. Your clients aren't going to want to come to me. So I feel like we cater to different people. And girl, there are so many people in this world. Like there's enough clients for everybody. I promise you, gatekeeping is not going to keep the blessings coming. Literally. If anything, I feel like the more you share, the more God rewards you. Yeah, 10 times more. Empowerment. So it kind of ties into the previous questions that you have had from me. My legacy for my students would be their success. Because again, it's a reflection of myself. So if my students aren't doing good, then what am I doing wrong? So my legacy would be my student success, because the amount of stories that I've heard and I've seen on social media, I don't know if you've seen on TikTok. I recently got a TikTok, girl, about a month ago. My students made me get one, and I was scrolling through there, and I started to understand why a lot of them were scared to come to my school. Oh, that's a hard one. I enjoy both. I would say teaching.
Right?
Yes.
Teaching is so nice.
I love teaching.
Both is important.
Both, yes, are important. But I feel like when you're teaching, you have to have a passion for it. Yes. If you don't have a passion for it, girl, you're going to get burnt out. Yes. So, yes, I would definitely say teaching.
Yeah, I love it. I see, that's the thing people, I think, misconstrue, or they don't realize. When you open a school, you don't just get to teach. No. You think, oh, I love teaching.
You wear a lot of hats.
Cool. Yes. So for me, I didn't get to teach as much as I wanted to in my journey. Now I get to do more specialty classes. That's good. So I'm excited. But I love the route that you've taken, where you've had like smaller classes and it's just you know? Okay. What song makes you feel like a boss?
Girl, my worship music.
Amen.
You know who I've gotten into? Do you know who Caleb Gordon is?
No.
Oh my goodness, girl. It's like Christian rap. And I know some people are like, oh no, not Christian rap. Girl, it is good. So honestly, in the mornings, I pop that on and I'm like, hey, going to work. But yeah, I listen to Caleb Gordon. I love his music.
Okay, awesome. Shout out to
And it's Christian rap. So yes.
Christian rap. Yes. Keep it holy, y'all.
Yes.
Okay, what's a secret talent that you may have that nobody knows about?
A secret talent, I would say, multitasking.
Oh.
You know, I get when I'm at these soccer games, these soccer moms are like, "Girl, how do you do all this stuff? Like, how do you make it to everything? Like, everything is just done so good." And I'm like, honestly, girl, I don't know. I think I just know how to multitask. Again,
Yeah.
that comes with making my schedules and stuff. So I
Yes.
would say multitasking. So I make, time for my salon girls, my lash customers, my clients, my students, my family. I don't know how, girl, but I feel like that would be a talent of mine, is multitasking.
That's a superpower.
So it's hard, but I don't
Superpower.
know how I do it, but multitasking for sure.
Okay, okay. If a movie was made about your entrepreneurial journey, what actress would play you? I know girl, this is supposed to be fun. I'm challenging you.
I know, like, dang, what was the last time I watched a movie? I don't even remember the last time I watched TV.
Okay.
I would say, oh my God, what's her name? I know you know the show that I'm talking about. It was like a presidency one. Olivia.
Oh,
What's her name?
Kerry Washington.
Yes,
Okay,
Kerry Washington. I love her. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So she would play Miss Vanessa
Yes.
Black. Okay.
Yes.
Entrepreneurial. Awesome. Modern Black. Yes. Yeah, she's a great actress.
Oh, yes, I love her.
Yes. Awesome. Awesome. And one more. What was your biggest oops moment when you first opened the school?
Girl, yes, I had one. Oh my goodness. You need to have a certificate of occupancy. So I'm actually in a building, and when I spoke with them, they're like, "Oh yeah, you don't need to worry about that. The building has a certificate of occupancy." I don't know what happened, but the fire marshals ended up going to all the suites, and they're like, "No, you need to have it for each suite." I was already about to start my April class, and they're like, "You cannot open if you don't have that certificate of occupancy." And I was like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, I already have these students enrolled. Like, oh my God!" Like, and I knew that that was one of the requirements from the city. But since I had already spoken with the property management and the building, they're like, "Oh yeah, we already have them for the building. Like, you're good." And I was like, "Great, this is another setback. It's gonna take longer." And girl, it takes a long time for them to process that. Thankfully, I was able to get it before my class started. So that was like a big oops for me. So make sure when you're opening up your school, see the city guidelines, what certificates you need from them, what business licenses you need, get with TDLR, because every state is different. But yeah, that was a big oops for me, is not having that certificate.
Yeah. Yeah. Those little things.
Yes.
And there's always this random
just some things that you don't even think of. But yeah, definitely make sure you have everything in line.
Yeah. And just know that there's always going to be something that's going to, even as prepared as you want to be,
it's not going to be perfect. As hard as you try, because I tried to have everything lined up and perfect, girl, it's not. Definitely not. So,
you know that soon accreditation is going to be able to be for like 300 hours and up.
Wait, what?
So I don't know if
didn't see that.
So yeah, with that new beautiful big bill that Trump is doing, lower hour programs. That's why like Ogle and other schools don't offer lash programs, because you don't get financial aid for that, because the number.
And now you will?
Yes.
You might think
about accreditation.
You know, that's good to know. I'm not, I haven't done the accreditation yet. I know it's a long process also. It's a long process, like what, 2 years?
Yeah.
And they require a lot. So if you are looking into getting accredited, get with Amy. Not me getting you customers, girl.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yes, because that's a whole nother ball game too.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do you need to have a lot to be able to get your accreditation for sure. Definitely. I know I had looked into it and I was like, you know what? I'm really getting it. You know what? I just altered. Let me step back. We don't need to do this right now. Okay. So we're going to wait. Yeah. No, for real. So yeah. But that's so cool.
Yeah. Well, Miss Vanessa, thank you so much for taking the time to come and be on my Aspire with Amy podcast and YouTube channel. If people want to get with you to learn more about your academy, your product line, your salon, do you hire people for your salon?
No, so everybody's independent contractors there. Yes.
Okay. If anybody wants to go to your school, take a specialty class with you, how can they find you?
So y'all can find me on Instagram or TikTok at Modern Black Academy.
Okay. And okay. Do you have a website?
Okay.
Shorter than I was thinking. Sorry.
So my website is www.modernblackacademy.com, and that's where we have all the information for our programs and all of that. So yeah.